Good afternoon, and welcome back to another edition of Marketing in Motion. I'm Jamie Bissett, Vice President for Enrollment Management and Marketing here at Rio Grande, and I'm glad you're here. This episode, we have a little change. Our regularly scheduled guest could not make it at the last minute, and so we've kind of improvised, and I think we're going to have a real good show for you. What we were going to, as our plan B, was to talk about media, kind of going old school, looking at print advertising, television, radio, outdoor, and give you a perspective on how that could fit in your mix, overall marketing mix, combining digital media. It's a little different than what our outline of the program is, but we were saved by Galilee Academy High School. They are here on campus today, and we have with us Sean Northrup. He's the instructor over there. And Sean, can you tell me a little bit about what you're teaching and what your class is about?
Yeah, we teach an interactive media strand that allows us to teach a variety of multimedia products such as web design. We teach video production. We're also able to teach computer and mobile programming. It kind of reaches out to all the different aspects of media.
So this is definitely a lot different than when I was in high school, and Tim, probably you as well. But I mean, how long have these programs been in the high school?
I think they're pushing 20 years now. We're looking at the person who was there before me, I think was there for 15 years.
Really?
They're not as mainstreamed or they're more mainstream now than they were in the past because, everybody's pushing media and advertising right now. So they're a little more mainstream now than they were, but they were still there.
So really, this generation coming out of high school is much more advanced than even someone coming out of college 5, 10, 15 years ago.
Right. The difference would be 15 years ago, you were probably learning word processing at this level. Today, they're learning web design and video production, and they could actually come out of high school as a digital graphics designer.
Right. All right. So you're also working much with social media platforms.
We are. We're actually getting ready to start the Facebook page for Galilee Academy.
Okay.
Our student body is going to be in charge of some of the graphics and advertisements and things for the social events that we're having.
All right. So what social media platforms are really utilized or of interest to that generation right now?
I think right now you're looking at Facebook's for the older generation. I know a lot of people push media towards Facebook, but
okay. So let's define older generation.
I'm thinking somewhere. Anything above 25 right now. It's really pushing Facebook.
All right. So let me ask some of your students that are here right now. Are you all using Facebook for any type of really communication? Are you getting any news or information from it? Occasionally. There's a lot of shaking of heads. No. So how are you using it as a tool to kind of keep up with maybe what your friends or family are doing?
More family based. Yeah.
More family based. Okay, so he just answered that it's really using it more family based to kind of stay in touch or share photos of the vacation and what's going on. All right. What about? You're seeing now a lot of sponsored ads that are coming through your feeds. Are you ever clicking on those?
No, I try to avoid those things now.
Okay, yeah, they're saying no again. They're just thumbing through that real quick. Have you clicked on any of them?
By accident.
By accident. Okay, so they click on it by accident. So if you were to click on them, what would draw your attention to say, oh, okay, I'll look at this one?
Probably an interesting headline.
Maybe some new tech that's come out that you haven't seen yet.
Okay, so a new headline, something techie that's out there. What about the image? Photograph or video? Does it make a difference, one or the other?
If you see like something that's like real like pops out like breaking news or something like that. might get curious.
Okay, so it's got to be something that grabs your attention. What are you saying? Is that, if it's breaking news or an image that again grabs, stops that thumb action for a little bit. All right, interesting. Okay, so we talked about Facebook. What other platforms are out there?
I think the big ones right now are Instagram and Twitter. I think Instagram's for that visually stunning stuff, something that grabs their attention right on the spot. And Twitter's for them to keep up with what their friends are doing and the new social things that are happening throughout the week.
Right. So it's with those platforms, again, are you utilizing those to gather information? Or is it really just a social, hey, this is what I'm doing, what are you doing type thing?
Yeah, it's more social than other.
Okay, so and they're saying it is more social. I mean, so if I am a business and I want to grab your attention somehow, I mean, what platform am I going to use? How am I going to talk to you to share information?
You gotta stand out, like something to get our attention.
And just okay, so it goes back to Tim, what we've been saying before with the visual aspect of, how do we get them to stop and their feed and take a look at us?
Right. Well, I think that from my experience in doing a lot of the ads, it's not necessarily the platform per se. You can be on Facebook and reach a certain different demographic, or Twitter, or a even a LinkedIn for some people. But I think it's all about the content, and these guys may agree with me or may not. But I think it's about the content. If it's something that's visually stimulating, if it's something that grabs you, whether it's a video, whether it's photography, or whether it's good copy, line. Whatever that is, if it grabs you, the platform is not necessarily as important as what you're offering.
Right.
Now, the platform may differentiate depending on what demographic you're trying to reach. These guys said that they're not on Facebook, so if they're not using Facebook a whole lot, then maybe if you're only trying to reach people from 16 to 20 or 16 to 21, maybe Facebook may not be that targeted place. Maybe you want to go with Twitter or Instagram. Mm-hmm. I find it a little. I was kind of surprised when you said Twitter, because a lot of the social media experts or so-called experts out there say that Twitter is dead. Would you agree with that or disagree with that, or?
No, I wouldn't agree with that. I think Twitter's really what the up-and-coming generations are using right now. I think that's how they really keep a track of social events locally. I don't know that they keep track of like more national stuff or anything like that. I think it's more of a local social media for them.
Would you say that Twitter is preferable to Facebook because of the immediacy of what's going on and the short, it's short, you don't have to like scroll through huge posts?
Yeah, it's that, kids at that age or students at that age like their privacy, and
Right.
parents aren't on Twitter.
That's
where it
true.
comes to. So they like their privacy. They want
A
to be able
lot
to talk
of
to their
head nodding
friends.
over here.
They want to talk to their friends and not have their parents maybe see what they're saying.
Right. And
So-
and let's follow up. I'm sorry, Jamie, I didn't want to step on you, but just to follow up on that, then there's Snapchat, right? And Snapchat, your parents aren't on Snapchat, obviously. Snapchat is something that a lot of businesses, and whenever I read a lot of the articles, a lot of people say your business has to be on Snapchat. And I kind of disagree with that, because I don't think that people in that demographic are really going to Snapchat to see ads. What would you
Right.
think? And I'm interested in what these guys might think as well.
Yeah, I don't really think that that's what they're after when they're getting on Snapchat. I think that's more of a social app as well. It's mainly, hey, I want to talk to my friends. I want to see what they've posted over
Right.
the last day or so, and I think that's where they stand with that.
Okay. Well, what do you think, guys? I mean, do you see ads on Snapchat? If businesses would advertise to you on Snapchat, would you think that they were just kind of interfering, or would you think that would be an okay thing? What's your take on it?
Yeah, I think it definitely get in my way, because when I'm watching or scrolling through Snapchat news stories, I get annoyed when I see an ad. I just exit out of it or scroll past it.
So would you say that you would be less likely than more likely to maybe interact with a business that bugs you to death on a Snapchat?
Yeah, I'd be less likely.
So in a sense, what if you're looking at Snapchat as a business or something to use, then maybe you might want to possibly not necessarily do that, because what they were telling me, and you may not have been able to hear them, but what they're saying is businesses who advertise on Snapchat and do it a lot, they get in the way, they're not as effective, and to be honest with you, they're annoyed by them, and they may be less likely than more likely to interact with your business. I feel like I'm kind of taking a little bit away from this. I'll get back to Jamie.
No, it's good. I want to kind of follow up on that a little bit. Is you read a lot and you see a lot of the research, and they're saying that your generation is getting smarter all the time, and are able to kind of sniff out someone trying to sell you something.
Highly attuned BS filter. Can we say BS on public access?
No, we did now.
Just did.
So I mean, again, how does a business, reach you when they can? So whether it's on whatever social media platform or anything else, is it the polished, professional, 20-second video? Is it just a short 140 character hey, this is what it is, click here to learn more? If we are to reach you with something exciting and enticing, what does it need to be?
I like the little short videos that just kind of get to the point, that are like really well, like really professionally done. They really, like, I don't know, they just speak more for the business than say some 5-minute video, just something short and to the point.
So you like the short ones, professionally done. When we say professionally done, that's where, I mean, you can do a professional video on an iPhone nowadays. I mean, so it's how professional does it have to be?
Like real clean and not overwhelming, just a real clean video.
So it's just something short and sweet that you can look at with that 20-second, 30-second attention span, and if it piques your interest, then you can Google it and learn more or find out about it.
Yeah, and I think one place where they're finding that is on YouTube, and they may agree with me or not, but I think YouTube does a really nice job of that, because if they really want to go out and watch a video that they've searched, a lot of the ads are like, some of them are 5-6 seconds, some of them are 30 seconds, and those, I think, are where the businesses are getting the most views and probably are hitting the biggest population of these this age group.
I'm finding that a lot of times if I'm watching YouTube, which I don't watch a lot of television, but I watch a lot of YouTube, if there's a 30-second ad, by 5 seconds I'm skipping. So I think possibly getting it short, sweet, to the point, just like these guys were saying, is absolutely right on the money. I'm interested, Sean, in where you see live video going with Facebook Live, with Periscope. I know that Meerkat's not necessarily used as much, and Catch kind of fell down the line, so there's no Catch anymore. Periscope is still active. Where do you see live video fitting in interactive media in the future?
It's hard to say. I know Facebook Live is kind of been a hit here over the last few months. It's definitely putting it real time. It's an advantage over the Snapchat and Twitter. I mean, as far as where it'll go in the future, it's kind of hard to see where they're going to pick it up at as far as the other social media apps, and I think that's going to be the turning point. Are the other social media apps going to pick that kind of thing up, and really are the kids going to run with it?
Right. So where do you, just your personal opinion, what do you think about it?
It's convenient. I mean, it's a lot easier than recording a video and then trying to edit it and post it up afterwards. But as far as live video myself, I don't use it. My wife does for events and tutorials that she does for her string art and different things that she does as far as arts and craft. But I could see it being for the businesses, tutorials and different things that they could do live or question and answer kind of deals where they want to reach the public and have that broadcasted instantly. It kind of takes out that extra step that they have to bring somebody in to do a news broadcast or do a podcast or something like that and have it published. So.
Interesting. Have any of you all used the Facebook live streaming personally? None of you have used it. Have you watched any of them? You haven't even watched any of them.
Periscope? You guys do any of that?
I watched some Periscopes.
Yeah. What do you think about Periscope?
It's not bad,
Yeah.
but I don't just go watch random people. I go watch like political things.
Ah.
People talk about politics.
So I'm going to kind of rephrase you because they're not mic'd up here in the audience. So what he was talking about is, Periscope. It's not something that he specifically just uses at random, but he'll seek out content on Periscope, political things, for example, stuff like that. So so you actually subscribe to some Periscope accounts,
I follow people on Twitter.
Right.
And then they go live on their Periscope, and it sends a tweet to their
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. So through Twitter, and this is, I think, something that Sean was talking about when we were talking about the platforms. Is a lot of times these platforms kind of interact. You've got Facebook and Instagram are both owned by the same people. So if you're running a Facebook ad, you could also run an Instagram ad, and you can run it on that same account. Twitter is tied in with Periscope. So like he was saying in the audience that, if a Periscope video should come up, there's a notification on Twitter. So you get to see that. I mean, before Blab kind of went belly up, and we're kind of waiting to see what Blab IM is going to come up with next. Whenever there was a Blab online, it would come through Twitter, and people would get notifications as well. So that's something to kind of keep track of and kind of keep in mind that if you're running a business and if you're running an ad and you want to make sure that it's nice, it's crisp, it's clean, and it's short and it gets to the point, but also make sure that you're taking advantage of some of those cross-platform specific opportunities that you may have as well.
Yeah, and I think the other part of that might allow live stream to take off is binds. Students really seem to like binds, and I could see that if live streaming those, that could be another application of it.
So is Vine going into live, or I haven't heard that.
No, I don't know that they are, but I think that could be another application of it.
It could be, yeah, and you never know. I mean, these things are evolving constantly all the time. So,
Well, and with that, so maybe we can kind of get a show of hands from our audience here. Y'all have smartphones? Okay, everybody has a smartphone. Who has more than 10 apps on their smartphone? Everybody raise their hand. Who has
Me
more than
too.
20 apps? A couple
good
hands
grief, I
went
think maybe I
down.
might.
Who has more than 30 apps?
got
There's still one hand up there. 40? 50?
okay. Now this guy in the back, he's the tech guy that they were telling me about earlier. So I would say,
70
yeah,
Okay.
I understand.
So he has about 70 apps. Okay, so the app that you access most frequently during the day would be Facebook? No. Instagram? I have one that says Instagram. Twitter?
Probably Twitter for me.
Okay, about half are saying Twitter. Snapchat?
Yeah, I'd say Snapchat.
Snapchat is right there. YouTube? We got one YouTube back there. Yeah, accessing that. LinkedIn. Oh,
we heard one.
we
yes back
heard,
there.
yeah, we heard one LinkedIn back there. Oh. All right. Okay, what am I missing?
You're spot on.
Okay, so that's it. All right. So, are you guys using any apps to? I mean, how are you learning about something? So, if you wanted to learn about a business, about a new product, about a school, where are you going for that?
I just Google it. Yeah.
Google it.
You know,
Google it. Okay. So, and as far as that, I mean, how much information do you need before you can Google something?
like the name of the product.
Okay, and even without the name, it probably if you can describe it. Okay, so there's you guys are very resourceful when you want to find something. Okay, so there's no I couldn't find any info on that. You never say that, do you? No, it's Google's a wonderful thing, huh? All right, all right. So Tim, I mean, we've been doing this a while, and we kind of we've analyzed our platforms that we're doing. Do you think we're hitting the right message on our platforms right now?
Now I'm not so sure, actually. Well, and what Jamie is going to end up asking you, probably, I don't know if he's going to ask you before or after the program, but we're a college. So, we have to market to your demographic in order to get people to come to our school. So a lot of times, so that's why he's asking me, he's like, do you think we're hitting the mark? Well, maybe we should not bug them on Snapchat too much. But I don't know. We're not on Snapchat yet. But Facebook, Twitter. Maybe we should be on Twitter a little bit more, possibly.
Well, okay, and then
that's one of the most surprising things coming out of the discussion that I'm finding is I didn't think that Twitter was used quite as frequently as apparently it is. So that's surprising to me.
So with that, so if we get on Twitter and we want to get our name out there, and this could be for any business, are we really kind of promoting, hey, come to Rio, or is it better just to kind of show you the experience here, whether it's an event, a student doing something, athletic event? Is it better to show you than to tell you?
Yeah, right. Yeah, like offer like a visit or something and show like what there is to offer here.
Okay, so he's saying to offer a visit, definitely the visual is better than the the hard sell.
And not to interrupt, but I think that goes back to just marketing 101 more or less, which is like show, don't tell. So regardless of what business and regardless of what platform, it's always better to be able to show somebody what you're about rather than just tell them. And the great thing about digital media and the great thing about what we have now is that it's so much easier to use with video and with photography to actually show your story. So that's one of the things I'm kind of taking away as well as, is if you're a business, show what you're about. Don't just tell people to come see you, show people what you do. And I think that these guys would probably agree that that's probably the best route to go regardless of the medium that you're using.
So Sean, I mean, and how long have you been in your position now?
For about 4 years.
Okay, what have you seen in 4 years? I mean, this whole space is evolving daily. 4 years, a generation ago was a lifetime. Now it's a couple of days. What have you seen in just 4 years?
Well, I've really noticed that the students today are really visual. They're visual learners. They take a lot of information in visually. Instagram, like he's talking, if you want to get information out to them, show them. Don't tell them about it because it kind of just, they tone that out,
Right.
Instagram is really good about that. The way to get the information out is give them a picture and tagline it so that they know what the picture's about and get the information to them that way. I think that's been the biggest thing.
Interesting.
I think we've become major swing there in visual learning.
So, all right, let me ask another question. This is great. It's like our own little private focus group here. Hashtags. Okay, so do any of you really follow any hashtags? Okay, everyone is shaking their head, but all the experts say, you got to hashtag it, hashtag this, hashtag that.
I'm wondering if follow was the correct
Oh,
term.
well, when I say follow, I mean, do you guys ever search for any specific hashtags?
Sometimes I'll see maybe like a celebrity tweet out a hashtag about a court event. I'll click on it, see what it's about, and I wouldn't have heard of the story if it wasn't for that. So
So,
Okay, so occasionally if he sees a post with a particular hashtag, he may click on it to see what's trending, see what they're saying about it. Interesting. Do you guys use hashtags?
Not a whole lot.
Really? Again, a lot of head shaking no's. A little surprised on that. I mean, you guys are going against what all the experts are saying.
These experts aren't also 17, 18-year-old kids.
Well, and that's the challenge, and it's you guys are a gold mine of information, and they're always trying to analyze and figure you out. And I think what happens as soon as they do, another generation comes up, and which is just a year or two difference, and it changes. How old were you all when you got your first smartphone?
12.
12,
like 13,
12, 13?
7th, 8th grade.
In 7th and 8th grade. Is that the kind of the same age now? Do you know? Do you have younger siblings who are 2nd grade yet Snapchatting?
My sister got the iPhone 6 when she was 10.
Wow. When she was 10. So, I mean, you've basically have grown up with information in the palm of your hand. Okay. How many read a newspaper? None.
There is one.
Oh, there
in the
is.
back there,
Okay,
yes.
one in the back. Okay. Magazines. No magazine readers either. So I mean, you guys are getting information that you want from the sources you want. So I mean, you're pretty much driving the content that you see. And they're all shaking their head. It's a very tough market from where it was just a few years ago.
Well, we've got probably just about a minute left, so we probably need to wrap it up. Just one quick thought from what I'm gathering, and I'm learning a lot of information. Is I think as far as we tend to put this generation, I'll put that in quotes, in a box, and I think that marketers shouldn't really do that. I think this is one of the most diverse groups of age groups and demographics that we ever experienced, and I think that whenever you put them in a box and say we're trying to reach all of you, I think that might be kind of something that you might want to get away from. So that's what I'm taking from it, is we're getting all kinds of different, even from the group that we have here, all kinds of different results. So don't box them in.
No, and I want to thank Sean Northrup and the Gallia Academy High School. You guys were great. It was a wealth of information, and I hope everyone was able to glean a little insight into the generation that's coming up and what drives them, what makes them tick.
Thanks, Sean, and thank you guys from Gallia Academy. We've learned a lot.
Good deal.